Okay, do you allow yourself to check out the standings now that you're in the playoff hunt? What you got to do? And did you notice that you're right there with Kansas City, a game behind?
I mean, we know those things, but it's definitely not something that I think about all the time. We got to go, play Detroit. We got 4 more games. We can kind of control our own destiny. So it's take these 1 week at a time, do what we've been doing the last, 6 or 7 weeks, and can control what we can control.
Troy Ray.
Hey, Alex, thanks for joining us. You were coaching high school football, a couple years ago, and would you design a defense like this? It feels like this defense fits you. That's just menacing, high energy. And then what does it mean to do that in front of so many family and friends like you did yesterday?
Yeah, I used to be a 4-3 guy when I was coaching during the COVID spring, but that was because Jim Schwartz was the DC when I was in Philly still. So, but I would, I help my buddy every week. I have a phone call, and we've installed a lot of 5 down fronts, and I've been getting after the quarterback a little bit more this past season. So, yeah, I would implement it, but yeah, it's always, the greatest thing, is to be able to, obviously represent the name on my back, and then to be able to go home and have, I had 50 people at the game yesterday, so to have them all come out and be at the game, it means more than anything.
Congrats, man. Nice work.
Yep, thanks.
Nick Kosmider.
Alex, I want to ask you about Zach Allen. He seems just, from our interactions with him, both in the locker room, on the field, to just be kind of an incredibly even guy. Is there ever behind the scenes in which he kind of gets really fired up? And then secondly, what has just been your impression of how he has anchored the middle of that defensive front for you guys?
Yeah, he's been great. Zach's become one of my good buddies, so it's been an awesome addition to our team. He's played really well, and like you said, yeah, he is even keel all the time. I would say, he sits right behind me in our defensive meetings, so he can be obnoxious when we're talking about pass coverages, and he is not involved at all. So he just kicks my seat for 20 minutes. But outside of that, no, he does stay pretty even, and I think that's the best part about him. It's nothing too high, nothing too low, and you get the same guy every single day.
Appreciate it.
Brandon Christoph.
Well, Alex, you kind of touched on. I was curious, how nice was it, 1, to get a bounce back win, but then 2, to do it, there in SoCal. I wasn't sure how much family you'd have since you talking to me on Friday, but so in front of 50 friends and family, but just to get that bounce back win in the first AFC West win since 2019 on the road.
Yeah, you got to win division games if, everyone wants to talk about the playoffs and all that stuff. But, to get there, you have to win division games. And, this was, obviously the one on our schedule, for this last week. And, to go down there, take care of business, play the game, especially defensively that, we knew we could, go down there and play. It's huge. It's huge for confidence and, to just build on to go into this week. And, yeah, it's like, I said earlier, it's the best thing in the world to play in front of family. So it's always really nice to have that support from them.
Zach Stevens.
Hey, Alex, how much do you like being blitzed and brought and having so many different pressures that Vance is dialing up and being aggressive?
Yeah, I mean, it makes it fun. You can really, pin your ears back and just, let what happens, which, for the last few weeks, months, even, with our defense, it's worked really well, from the back end guys going, and then, Josie and myself. So it's been fun. We enjoy it. We enjoy during the week, kind of, learning them and, seeing what we're going to throw in every single week. It's enjoyable, and, we've been liking it a lot.
Eric Dalala.
Yeah, Alex, you guys picked the offense up early, but wanted to ask you about that long drive the offense had after the Chargers cut the lead to 10. They took 7.5 minutes off the clock. Just your reaction on the sideline as that drive was going on, and how critical that was for them to be able to keep you guys off the field and run the time down.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. That's just complimentary football, to, be in the position we were in and to just have them, it just takes all the time away from them. Even if they were to get the ball back and score, because if something happened again, like it did at that one point, there's just not enough time for them to, come back in that game anymore at that point. If they go, 3 and out or punt early in the series, it makes it tough. So, to have them go out there and do that. I was on the, you just watch the clock and kind of tick down, see the timeouts, and it's kind of like, oh, we're getting to the point where they can finish this game. And so it's a great feeling, and we love when they can do that.
Chris Thomason.
Yeah, hey Alex, thanks a lot for doing this call. Just a little bit of a follow-up question on the you guys had 6 sacks by 6 different guys on Sunday. How much pressure does that put on a quarterback where they don't know where the pass rushers are coming from? And then if you could also comment on, I mean, PJ Locke's had a sack in 3 straight games and Jaquan McMillan in 2 straight. So you're getting them from these back end guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think, being able to bring exotic pressure and pressure from, different places, obviously, it makes it tougher for a quarterback. Thursdays for most teams are that 3rd down day. And, so to be able to sit there and, we bring a lot of pressure on 1st down too. So for guys that have to, all week kind of see that it's, not just, the ends or the D tackles, the backers, we send safeties, corners, everybody on any down. And it's, I think it's an advantage to us to kind of, I think, a few weeks ago, we've talked about, like, instead of just playing to what offenses are doing, kind of go like, you're going to play to us. We're going to play how we want to play, and you guys are going to have to figure us out. We've been able to do that. And, when you're able to do that, you're allowed to bring, more exotic pressure and kind of, do those things. And, I think we've done it at a pretty high level.
Nick Cosmider.
Yeah, Alex, Sean told us a couple hours ago that he was relieved to hear that Quinn was, he was coming back and was going to be okay. What was just the sense of similar relief, I would imagine, for you guys as players to hear that?
Yeah, 100%. We want all the guys to, be good and healthy. So it was great to hear.
Zach Stevens.
I'm good, Megan. Thank you.
All right. If you do not have a question, please lower your hand. We'll end with Eric Dalala.
Yeah, Alex, just going back to that 7.5-minute drive. I'd imagine when you come off the field, you're looking at plays, talking to your coaches a little bit, but what do you end up doing? Are you guys just chilling on the sideline, or how do you spend all that time?
Yeah, I can usually tell how long a drive goes because, we'll go through our plays and then, you sit there for a little bit and then you kind of get antsy, and it's always nice to, stand up and, kind of see where we're at. Cause, unless you hear, punt ready for 3rd downs, I'm not looking up at all for what the offense is doing. You're just hoping that, they're doing good things. And so, and you can hear the crowd, based off of who's cheering, what's going on. But yeah, so once it gets to that antsy part and you kind of like, all right, you stop looking at the iPad, you stand up and you're like, oh shit, okay, we're moving the ball here. And then you just look up at the clock and you realize it's just ticking. Yeah, I mean, it's a great feeling. You kind of, you're going to win, when the offense is doing that at that part of the game. And so it's just excitement, it just rallies the team, especially on the sideline even more. So, like I said, the defensive guys who've, spent a lot of time in the iPads to be able to get up and, fully cheer them on and get it going. And it's really exciting.
Alex, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yep. Thank you, guys.